with proper practice and proper meditation, I have become more aware. Wolf. Please don't laugh at that. Hey guys, what's up? This is CarbonDuck today. Welcome back to another. Shush! Shut! Shut up! Good. Anyways, hey guys, what's up? This is CarbonDuck today. Welcome back to another Minecraft mod showcase. And today, we are finally gonna do the Howling Moon mod by what's my fucking name again? I don't even know. Anyways, so today we're finally gonna be doing the Howling Moon mod, which was actually requested by a bunch of you guys back then. And even last year, which I'm sorry for taking so long, but now we're here to do it. And if you don't know anything about the Howling Moon mod, it is simply a mod that adds in werewolves and werewolf-like things and items and allows you to become a werewolf as well, which is fun. That's why I have all these pigs here today, which we're going to show off what we're going to do with these lovely pigs. As for Vanilla, he's currently making igloos right now, but for now, we will get onto this as there's not that really much to really discuss with the Howling Moon mod. As apparently there's a lot of things that were left in 1.10 and 11 for this mod, so I'm currently using the latest version, which I thought had everything, but we're gonna roll with what we have today. Also, because I'm an asshole, I'm not going back to that. I'm not going to 1.11. 1.12 is the best. Anyways, so why is music playing in the background after I? Why is the music playing? Anyways, while the music plays in the background, I do want to say though that the mod's pretty simple to start off. So when you first start off this mod, you're obviously going to have just the basic Minecraft mechanics here and there. However, you won't find any werewolves unless it becomes nighttime, like such. Now, in order to become a werewolf, it's actually pretty easy. All you need to do is find a werewolf, which we had one here, but it's gone. So we're going to have to spawn another one in here. And in order to find these werewolves, all you're going to need to simply do is simply go out into the forest at night and pray to God that a werewolf doesn't completely kill you, as you do need to be alive for this. And the crazy thing about this is once you get attacked by one, which this is gonna suck. Hi. Can I pet your tail? Ah, mother. Alright, as you can see, I've been infected by lycanthro. Here we go again. Mother. It's happening again. Lycanthro. Let me try this in one go. Lycanthropy. Hey, I did it! So once you get bit by a werewolf, you have a pretty high chance of actually getting lycanthropy, which is pretty much werewolf disease, or werewolf AIDS, if you will. It pretty much means that you're infected by a werewolf now, and it sucks. And the cool thing about this is actually, eventually over time, you'll actually notice that your character... Oh, never mind. Usually before, it actually would have like a little pulsating, like, your screen would like pulsate red and such. Like, it's like showing that the infection's taking over, but apparently this is much easier. I wonder if I turn the weather off, is it gonna... Oh yeah, it does. Now that I was infected, and if a full moon hits, whenever there's a full moon, you will turn into a werewolf, no matter what. And you can't get out of this form at all, because, well, you know, when the full moon hits for werewolves, that's when they get, well, feral, and that's when they transform and, you know, beast out. Dare I'd say, you could even call it a beast mode. Thanks, Mitch. But anyways, Mothertron would not be pleased knowing the fact that this is the extent or the limit that I'd be showing for the werewolves and such. So, as you notice, most mobs start to freak out when there's werewolves near them, as you can see. And the cool thing about this is, of course, even though you just only turn to a werewolf, there are skills to becoming a werewolf that are actually quite handy. If you press J, you are able to transform, or I guess revert back to human form with the power of the button J. However, the problem is that once you're actually a werewolf and it's a full moon, it will say, "The beast within is restless. You must not mate with the other gifts," or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, you can't turn back into human once it's a full moon, so you're gonna have to stay like this for pretty much a good day too. And you can't even sleep as well, which kind of sucks. So really, pretty much, yes, the beast. The beast within is restless. You will notice that you won't get this level 10. I actually put that there. But pretty much what you will see is the status saying that you are a werewolf and your inclination is neutral. What this means basically is it's kind of like your morality. You're not really a evil wolf or a good wolf, pretty much. Basically, it's like a whole alignment system, if you will. Okay, so let's finally go over the cool stuff of this mod. So, press K, and then you go to skills. You will then notice that there is a bunch of things here
that you will be able to access in order to increase your werewolf abilities and experience. For an example, werewolves all have a whole stat system, from strength all the way down to dex. You can literally level up every single type of ability, and even if you click on it, it even explains to you which ability levels up what, or most of the time, such as say like movement speed. It's pretty explanatory from just the name itself. However, don't level up dex. Listen. Don't level dex. We don't do dex here. If you're a werewolf, don't do dex. Or if you want to be a person, don't level up dex. You can increase your jump height, knockback resistance, movement speed. The list goes on and on. Even clarity, which basically means it reduces the negative effects of exiting your transformation. So instead of actually being hungry every time you go snap back into human form, clarity will actually help you with that. But this is the real meat and bones of the werewolf or the Howling Moon mod. This is pretty much where you're going to be spending most of your time gaining skill points that you need in order to exceed your limits beyond that and become a wooer of the night. First ability, of course, is climb. We're going to go through these like pretty much in chronological order. Next ability is leap. Next ability is ram. And finally, my favorite, lift. Once I were to transform here, and if I were to press go back to my werewolf menu, you will then notice there are a bunch of new icons here that will look very, very unfamiliar to you. Some of them have auto features. A lot of them also just you can just equip with the press of a few buttons here and there. So of course, some of the command abilities you can actually do, which of course is leap and lift, you can set. However, if you were to enable, let's say, ram, if I were to charge at or sprint at an enemy, you can then paralyze. What the hell? They can sit? Oh, I just knocked. That's not good. But yes, pretty much if you have the ram ability, if you were to sprint at a mob, you can then knock them down, and they're pretty much paralyzed for about a few seconds, and then you are able to hunt them and such. Look at that. But yeah, pretty much, yeah, you can leave this ram ability on and just ram them down. And it's great. Look, you can paralyze them. You can start beating the shit out of them too. Look at that. Next ability I want to go over is the lift ability, because this is actually one of my favorites. So if I were to press R on him, you will then, with the lift ability equipped and pressing R, you will then notice that now I have him in my grasp. And now the cool thing about this is, did you just throw fucking potions at me? I didn't even know you can do that. But yeah, pretty much if you were to lift them and actually, I don't know, let's say take fall damage, but they can't handle the fall, you can then pretty much suplex them and they die. But apparently they don't take fall damage, so we're gonna do this the old-fashioned way. So if I press R again, I can throw them, hacha, and die. One more time, hacha, die. Next ability we got, of course, is leap. So if I press G here, I'll be able to leap across certain areas of the area, and you leap pretty far too. It's like maybe a good like 15 to 18 blocks away, which is pretty neat. However, it's more of a forward leap than an actual like leap up in the air. So if you were to let's say get across further places, leap would be definitely the most ideal ability. The next ability we got here, which is climb. Now climb is kind of weird because I've actually been trying to mess with it here and there, but it works in the sense that if you were to go up against a wall, you pretty much just climb as you were if let's say a spider and such. However, if you hold shift, you can then stay in place and then simply do leap after to leap across. I wonder if I can touch one of those beams up there. Hold up, let me see. Shift and then leap. Oh, there we go. Woo! Look at that. So yeah, you can pretty much climb up places easier. It's kind of it takes a learning curve to actually do the climbing and then combine it with leaping, but it works. It works really well. Look at that. You can also set this ability to however you so please. You can even set it as a passive thing, or just simply have it turned off if you don't want it, or climb onto the wall whenever you sprint at it. The sad part about this is one of the things that they actually have is a skill cap, which pretty much means you can only get 4 amount of skills from the I guess what I would call the skill menu or skill tree, which no problem at all. You can actually just reset your skill points and get them back. You can't really use all the skills, which I do hope maybe in the future, or if they have already in the config, you're actually enabled to allow yourself to have access to all the skills. But I will say right off the bat that these aren't the only skills you are able to get. However, we're going to talk about that in a bit. As you know already, there are other skills. Next skill we're going to go over is, of course, scent tracking. So once I have scent tracking on, you can even have it as a passive skill every time you transform, or you can have it as a manual, which pretty much if you press G, you can then detect any mobs within your range and such. So by default, green mobs are obviously the passive ones, yellow mobs are obviously the neutral ones, say like pigmen and such. And red mobs, if there was a red mob here, it would be a hostile mob. So it'll make it much easier for you to detect what type of mob you are either smelling out or chasing down for your hunt of the night. I don't fucking know. So that's scent tracking. Let's finally go on to one of the other skills that you actually can have, or at least a passive one, which allows you to wear armor if you want to, which kind of reduces mobility, but kind of gives you that durability considering you got armor and such. And of course, shred, which means unarmed attacks inflict a bleeding effect. So if I were to, let's say, I don't know, slash this pig, you will then know his particles come off of him, and so now he'll then start to bleed out and take damage. Why is the... Oh, there you go. And now he's dead. One of the other skills that you can actually get... Wait, did I get all this? Paw? Allows a werewolf to hold items in paws. The item's effectiveness, however, is reduced. So for an example, you can now wield swords. But the problem is that, well, it's not really as strong considering you're a werewolf and you're not using it to its best effective usage considering, you know, you got paws instead of hands. So now that we got that out of the way, let's finally go on to some other items and such that will actually aid you in your werewolf experience. For example, watch out for these if you're a werewolf, because these banners are the hunter's banners. Yes, there are werewolf hunters in this mod, and these hunters will pretty much go out and hunt for werewolves. However, there's something very scary about these good hunters. They wield silver swords. And for those who know anything about werewolves, silver is one of the main weaknesses of werewolves. And actually, if you were to get hit by one of these silver swords, you will then gain what is known as silver poisoning. However, you are also able to wield it against other hunters in case you want to give them a taste of their own medicine, which is, of course, building yourself a silver sword. And that is with silver ingots and one stick, as you would make for most other Minecraft swords, or at least craft in most Minecraft sword formation. However, in order to get the silver ingots, you would need to find silver ore throughout your world. I actually don't know if I stand on this as a werewolf. Will it poison me? Okay, they're really easy to break. Probably another thing you want to worry about hunters is that they are very... Now, I'm not going to make this, you know, very political, but they kind of racist. So these are what the hunters look like, and the problem with them is that they're not just random NPCs that walk around with swords and such. They can walk around especially with bows. However, thank God they don't shoot silver arrows, otherwise we would all be doomed for those that are werewolf-like and such. By the way, you like my Christmas sweater? I don't know, but I just wanted to point that out. But anyways, pretty much, yes. So these are the hunters, and the hunters do as they please, which is simply protecting the villages and such from wolves, and werewolves especially. Now, the bad part about this is that the hunters are probably the most terrifying, because if you were to, let's say, I don't know, drop maybe a diamond sword next to one of these hunters, what will happen is they'll actually pick it up. They did it before. I promise you. It's a very strange instance, but actually some of the hunters will actually pick up some of the items or some of the weapons that are dropped on the floor. I'm just trying to see if we can actually do it, because I remember he did before. Come on. There we go. So as you can see, yes, the hunters are able to pick up items like you would in regular Minecraft. And that's the problem. So now this hunter's a problem because, well, he has a diamond sword, and that one has a silver sword, and that one has a bow, and I'm pretty much going to get comboed the hell out of if I transform in front of these idiots. Oh, actually, it would make me the bigger idiot if I were to transform in front of them. Shut up, don't look at me. But pretty much, that is pretty much the hunters. They will now pretty much hunt the day and hunt the night and make sure their villages are safe from those who fright. That was a sick rhyme. Now, the cool thing about these hunters and how they actually go from, or at least where they live, is that not only can they spawn in forests just like werewolves, they can actually spawn in villages as well, as they have their own little HQ hideouts and such, where they actually can stay and protect villages. As you can see, I'm already in a transformation there, but I don't want to spoil what type of transformation that is, as there are more werewolf transformations that you can tend to. But then pretty much this is pretty much the werewolf hunters base of operations. As you can see, they have silver chained armor and moon pearls, which we'll go over in a bit. Wolfbane's potions in case they get infected. Pretty much everything you would expect from like a werewolf hunter's hideout and such. Which I kind of do wish later on they might. Hopefully they have like silver arrows and maybe even like muskets and such they can shoot at them. But pretty much, cool thing about this mod is that they even have like a trapped werewolf in here as like a prisoner. So that way they can like do testing and all that other strange stuff. And this is like an ancient civilization textural painting of their ancestors who used to do martial arts against werewolves until they died because they realized they needed silver and not fucking fists. So yeah, this is the werewolves base of operations, and you'll find them in most villages and such, not even just this one.
But it even looks really nice too. I really like how some of these houses are actually designed. I know that's like very like, not really, it's really a minor thing, not really that important, but the building's nice. There are other ways of healing yourself from this virus, and that is finding what is known as, what is known as Wolfsbane. Now this plant is actually throughout your entire world, so it's really hard not to find. Actually, I think you'll find some out here if I look hard enough. But Wolfsbane pretty much is throughout most of the forest and such, and you can find them. And once you gain some, you'll then have to put it into a brewing stand along with some empty water, or, well, I guess, yeah, in this case, water bottles. And then slowly over time, as you put it in the brewing stand and such, what this will do will actually make a cure that will cure your lycanthropy. As you can see, if you press K here, which is the menu for the werewolf mod, or Howling Moon mod, sorry, you will then see that you are infected. So you're not entirely a werewolf yet, but this, as you, there we go, as you put the Wolfsbane in, you will then get a Wolfsbane potion that will kill you of your lycanthropy. So if I were to throw this at you, take that. Be offended, fuck you. I'm gonna actually leave the Wolfsbane right there, but for now, that's not fun if I actually drink it, so I'm gonna go to sleep because I'm a good werewolf. Hello, bye. Pretty sure we have covered every single thing here except the Moon Pearl. Now, the Moon Pearl is gained by simply attacking and killing a lot of the hunters. However, I did find some instances though where you can actually find these by just killing certain mobs. However, it's pretty random from like how these mobs actually drop the Moon Pearls, but to guarantee yourself an actual Moon Pearl, I would say go out and kill the hunters, as the hunters are the ones that drop the Moon Pearls. And what this Moon Pearl does, other than leveling you up in the werewolf state, it actually, if you were to become a werewolf hunter yourself, instead of becoming a creature of the night, is creature of the night just really, is that just mainly for vampires? I don't even know, but they're both creatures of the night. We don't discriminate here. But pretty much, this Moon Pearl, as you can see, there's a glowing blue dot on my head. And what this does is if you were playing in multiplayer, this will actually help you if you hold it out. This will actually tell you which players are werewolves and which are not. As if there's a blue glowing dot on your head, that means that you're a werewolf. As you can see, it's like I can transform it, and now look, now they're pissed. But yeah, pretty much the Moon Pearl, in all its glory, is the powerful and resourceful item to have in mind. And actually, it's not that hard to get, considering the hunters are pretty common in the area. As if you can find a forest biome and also, or even a village, you can find hunters pretty easily. However, that is not the extent of the Moon Pearl. As I said before, you are able to level up and get skills with said Moon Pearl. Once you finally are able to get yourself a Moon Pearl and it's nighttime and it's not a full moon, which there will be some instances in Minecraft, well, yes, believe it or not, there aren't any full moons. When it's not a full moon, you are actually able to sleep, and once you sleep, you want to make sure that you have the Moon Pearl in your inventory. I would even go as far as say your hotbar. So once you sleep now, you will then not only fall into deep sleep, you faintly recall hurting whispers in your sleep. So yes, as you can see, you'll get certain messages here and there, hinting at there's someone calling to you from beyond that of the Minecraft overworld. If you were to take your Moon Pearl and go back to sleep, I believe it's either level 5 or 10, but we're going to figure that out right now. So as you sleep and you hit level 5, behold, you are now in the den of the werewolves. And it says, a full moon has risen. Risen sounds cooler. The full moon has risen. The beast within takes hold. Welcome, pup. Arf. Come talk to me if you want to learn. You have much to learn. So if you right click him, it's pretty much like a whole NPC like trial, pretty much. And they can get skills from these little lucid, I would say even furry fever dreams that you would have. If you right click him, he will now say you now have the ability to shift into a wolf. Use it to reach the next area, and our brethren shall teach you more. So if you press K here, and if you go all the way to the last tab, you will notice you'll have another option, which is wolf. And behold! Arf! You are now a savage and yet transformative form. That's not the word. You have now morphed yourself into a different class of wolf. A wolf of the were, I would say. And now if you right click this one, it also gives you another skill saying you can now summon a pack of howling. What the fuck did I even say? And now once you right click that wolf, it will then say that you can now summon members of the pack of wolves by howling. And so now, if you were to go press K here, you will then get a new skill down to your ability. It says Howl. Now, depending on how your keys are set, if you set the ability to the first or second, depending on which one, if I were to howl,
Behold, I have summoned one pack from the wolves, and now he is able to fight with me in battle and such. Now, I think the more you level up, you can actually gain more wolves depending on what your level is. But yeah, it's pretty cool. You can summon like spirit wolves to your calling, and then once you're done, you can just simply jump down here and behold, you are now awoken in the world during the day and are ready to feast again in the night. God, I love this, what I'm saying. So as you level through the trials and go through the final set of trials throughout the mod, once you hit the max level, which is 20, you will then be able to finally go into the last trials. There's also eventually a change of inclination in you, which pretty much means once you finally get to a certain set of trials, you will then get an inclination which pretty much chooses your side of wolf. What type of wolf you want to be, pretty much. You want to be a dick? You want to be okay, that's a little bit raunchy. Do you want to be an asshole? Do you want to be a calm and good wolf that can live amongst people? Or do you want to be neutral and live off your own? It actually matters because, simply put, depending on what inclination you pick, you get certain perks to what inclination you choose. So for an example, a calm wolf would be able to be more sustainable to silver poisoning, as to a savage wolf, in this case, you're actually able to instill fear into hostile mobs, and actually would make them petrified for them to actually attack. But however, most mobs will still actually attack you. And later on, as you level up, you'll then get the Berserk ability, which means killing consecutively will increase your strength, which is god-awfully really scary. However, that's not the end of it all, as later on throughout the mod, you will then gain a few other abilities such as Bite, and of course, as we've seen before, Howl, and the ability of Night Vision, as Night Vision will allow you to see during the night. And of course, lastly, the ability that I mentioned was Bite. The Bite ability is actually more usefully towards if you were playing a multiplayer, as the Bite ability allows you to simply bite other players, allowing you to infect them to become a wooer of the night. Also, I've increased some of the stats here and there for you guys to actually see how strong my fur has been. I'm really bad at playing furry right now. But yes, as you can see, I've increased some of my stats, as you can see, to show you how well groomed my fur is. That's so fucking gross. Last ability. The last ability you're actually able to get is in the last tab, which pretty much not only were you able to transform into a wolf before, last ability you're able to finally turn into the full-fledged werewolf known as the Beast. As you can see, you got like a big chest fur now and a big mane. And now you got a big tail which everyone can pet. And as you sprint, you can see that you go in like the full werewolf, the whole werewolf run and such. And you're even much stronger than before, as you can pretty much now one-shot most mobs that are in Minecraft. Look at that. I am now ruler of this village, and will now yiff any man in range. Anyways, so hopefully YouTube doesn't know what yiff means, otherwise I'm in trouble. But anyways, with that being said, that's pretty much it with the werewolf mod. But with that being said and done, that was kind of stressful. But with that being said and done, I look forward to the next few mod showcases that I have intended planned for you guys. Hopefully I'm able to get them out by this year. But with that also being said and done, that is all for today, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Make sure to download the mod in the description down below, of course. And thank you guys so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe as always. And we'll see you guys. And make sure to request the mods in the description down below. But we'll see you guys in the next episode. Bye!
Clouds in isolation, I am the maker of my name. Burning flames, I have been out. My valley crest is the demon of AI.
Anyways.